The Biden family's net worth just tripled in value. James Comer, who's investigating the Biden family's corruption, said bank records indicate the Bidens took in $17 million in dirty overseas cash. But it looks like more bank records have come in, and we could be looking at a $50 million racket.
Based on the evidence I've seen so far, I think the number is going to be north of $50 million that we're talking about here. This will go down as one of the most politically corrupt presidents and families in U.S. history.
$50 million. Joe Biden bragged for decades that he was the poorest man in the Senate. How does someone without a business have $50 million? How does someone whose son doesn't have a real job have $50 million? How does someone who has two brothers who can't hold a job have $50 million? The only legit business we could find in the Biden family is Ashley Biden's sweatshirt company. And I don't think she's made $50 million selling hoodies. This is exactly why we need an impeachment inquiry, because it's challenging unwinding 20 shell companies over 10 years involving 10 Bidens and $50 million. At least $50 million. Remember, we're only beginning to receive these subpoenaed bank records. And Primetime's learning now that there are foreign bank records related to the Biden family, offshore accounts. The Democrats accidentally produced the bombshell for us. Watch.
It was a significant amount of documents. I apologize.
Hundreds of thousands? Millions?
I don't want to put a number to it, but there was a lot.
Right. Bank records, right? You had a lot of bank records?
Yes.
Both domestic and foreign?
That is correct.
Foreign. That's big. If you keep money in offshore accounts, it means you have a legit overseas business, which the Bidens don't, or you're hiding money and dodging taxes. Remember, Biden family bank transactions created 170 suspicious activity reports. These are bank reports that generate themselves in-house to flag potential criminal activity. These offshore accounts could hold the key to this entire investigation.
With Joe, I suspect there are offshore accounts. The IRS whistleblowers confirmed when I asked if they had documents pertaining to foreign accounts, and they said they did.
Wow.
But they couldn't turn them over to us. They have to go through that process and turn it over to the Ways and Means Committee, and I requested they do that, and they said they would.
So sources tell Primetime that these foreign bank records will be given to the House and Ways and Means Committee, which will vote to release them in September. The sleazy sweetheart plea deal that imploded Wednesday was just an attempt to stovepipe these offshore accounts from investigators. These IRS whistleblowers were blocked from pursuing the offshore accounts and blocked from investigating Biden family member bank accounts. We suspect these accounts lead to Joe Biden himself, because Hunter Biden does not have $50 million sitting around. He blew through his China and Ukraine cash in like 2 years. So someone's holding something for you-know-who, somewhere, if we're talking 50 mil. Of course this leads to Joe. Why would Hunter have access to Joe Biden's bank accounts? Well, here's a story that explains that. That doesn't make any sense. Back in 2018, Hunter Biden was binging on crack cocaine at the Chateau Marmont Hotel in L.A. He was using escort services. But Hunter was so high, he accidentally overpaid a Russian pimp $25,000 from his father's account. Joe Biden in 2018 wasn't vice president anymore, but electronic transfers like that from the vice president to a certified pimp set off all kinds of alarm bells in Washington. So the Secret Service frantically got involved and rushed into Hunter Biden's hotel. First, they texted Hunter saying, quote, "Come on, H, this is linked to Celtic's account. D.C. is calling me every 10. Let me up or come down. I can't help you if you don't let me, H." Now, Joe Biden's Secret Service code name was Celtic, by the way, and Hunter's code name was Chieftain. When Hunter wouldn't get out of the room, the Secret Service stormed in. Hunter spent the next 2 weeks trying to claw back $20,000 of his father's cash from a Russian pimp. Now, this wasn't Macy's, so I don't know what the pimp's return policy was. This might be the first time a pimp's given a John back some of his money. But here's the point. Why would Hunter Biden have easy online access to his father's bank account? Are you able to log on to your dad's bank account and wire money to people? I'm not. I never have been. But the Bidens were a different kind of family. The money came in, and everybody in the family split it. Quote, one big pot of money for the entire Biden clan, unquote. Remember, Hunter's not 13. He's a grown man going into his daddy's account. He put the money in, he took the money out. Joe Biden used Hunter's money to pay for phone bills, house repairs, monthly expenses. Joe Biden touched this bribe money for years. That's a fact. Even Hunter's business partners had access to Joe Biden's bank account. Joe was getting help with his mortgage payments, his taxes. Where'd the money come from? The Democrats can't deny it anymore. Hunter admitted in court under oath that he was getting paid from China, Ukraine, and Romania. And Hunter's on the record saying Pop made me give him half my salary and pay for everything in the family for 30 years. Hunter's dirty foreign cash is Joe's dirty foreign cash. The family was living off bribe money and hiding it. There's no way that Joe can claim he had no idea what his son was up to. Here's another example.
Joe Biden not only knew about and spoke with Hunter about his overseas business dealings, but may have actually been involved. Just the day before the election last year, we published a story from an anonymous whistleblower who said that he was on a conference call with Joe Biden, where Joe was acting like the chairman of the board of this company that was dealing with online gambling in Latin America. Joe Biden was asking about profits, revenues, and this was whilst he was vice president.
So if Joe was involved right before the election, can we rule out that he's not involved now? Hunter's been following Joe around for a reason. State dinners, Air Force One, Camp David. And something's in that big red backpack that he's always carrying around. That's the business model. They call it the Delaware way. If you do one Biden a favor, you do all Bidens a favor. And I have a hunch Joe knows where the money is.
The bribery allegation, Congresswoman Nancy Mace says there's damning evidence in the FBI file that you sold out the country. Do you have a response to the congressional Republicans?
Where's the money?